Everybody, and welcome to this process video. I'm looking forward to putting together a few spreads in this album with you. I've already done quite a lot of creation up to this point, so I am working on story or day number 15, and I'm using a set of die cut numbers in this kind of dark charcoal grey from Tracy Reed Design. So they're already, I've got the whole set 1 to 31, so I haven't got to go through all of my puffy stickers, thickers, all of that, and try to pull out enough numbers to create the numbers that I need for the days. So I've got those already done. So story 15, I have my one photo. This is to do with the decoration in the house, and I have this foundation page. So I had two small pieces of this kind of distressed orange spot, which I extended to be the height of the traveller's notebook by cutting them. It was one piece which I extended into two by cutting in the middle and then adding this strip of cobweb paper along the centre. And it works quite nicely because this photo is just a kind of muted, it's a dark colour, so the white is quite warm. It goes with the cream background. Okay, a lot of black and a lot of orange on the photo, so that's what I'm starting with. I'm keeping things quite minimal. In previous years I have given my pages titles, but I've opted not to do that in this project, simply because this is a process where I really am embracing ease and simplicity, and I know that one of the things that can often bring a little bit of pressure or create problems for me is when I'm trying to add titles into a project like this, so say 31 titles, without using stamps, for example, because I only have a few alpha stamp sets. I need to extend my range really. And so I have lots and lots of stickers and thickers and alphabets that I want to use up, but as you can, I'm sure, empathise with, I'm missing lots of vowels, and it would be a whole thing to try to create a title for each page. So I let that go, and that felt very freeing to do that, actually. So typically I would have put something like spooky decor or something like that, but I'm not doing that. So this page, it's a bit of an awkward page, foundation page, but I'm going to go with it. So what I've pulled out is I've pulled in a scrap of paper to just mat my photo, pop it up a little bit. I pulled in those sticker sheets that you probably saw in the product overview video, and I've also pulled in a printable element. This was, I think, from the Me, Myself and I kit from Studio Calico. It's a really good match for the orange. And yeah, I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. I'm not too sure how. I haven't got massive amount of journaling, so I'm either going to put that somewhere where you can actually see and just write straight on there, or I might do it as a tuck up that you pull out. Don't know yet. But that's it. Yeah, so this one should come together quite simply. So I've got number 15 to do, so that's my plan for 15. I've also got number 16, and that is an insert, a tag insert. I've already done the back side of this tag. It's going to be adhered here onto this one with these tags that pull out of a pocket. But I have yet to put my hole punch in and my ribbon, because I need to know where this is going to go. So I'm going to punch the hole once I've put these together. I pulled nothing out for this one yet. I don't want both of the photos on display, because it suddenly looks, with the grey background and the very grey toned photos plus the grey number, although I actually quite like the look, it's a bit dull, so I may leave it like that and just pull in these scraps that I've got on my on the side and pop some colour. I don't know what colour yet. I'm trying desperately not to cut into any sheets that I'm saving, but I might have to, because I can see a lot of grey. So I'll have a look, see what I can pull in for number 16, and then I'm hoping as well to get to number 18 in this video. And I have a signature here from the Tracy Reed Designs collection for October this year. I have one photo, my number, but I have this whole collection printed. So when I get onto number 18, I'll just bring over the whole collection, and then this one should come together quite easily because I've got lots of die cuts, lots of papers, all of that ready to go for this one. But I think this one actually is going to be the most challenging. But I'm doing them in order. So for number 15 first, I'm going to speed this up and put a little voiceover on. So because I have a feeling that even though they're quite simple pages, I've left myself some challenging ones to film to kind of walk through the process with you. So it might take a little bit of backwards and forwards. So we'll see. Yeah. So let's see how this one comes together. Okay, so this one's going to come together nice and quickly. I have pulled in that black background paper with the multicoloured tiny stars. So I'm just going to use that as a photo mat, and then moving things around, trying to decide, do I want to tuck it underneath that strip across the middle? I was going originally with the arch above the photo, or potentially hidden as a with the photo working as a pocket, but I quite like it like this, so that it's underneath. It gives me a space to write on the lighter part of the arch, and then I can either put my number or a little bit of embellishment on the more saturated orange. So when I'm working in this album, I have fallen into a really good routine where I'm not second guessing myself too much. I'm not trying lots of different positions for elements and for the page design. Once I see something that I visually like, I am just sticking it down. That's not my normal style. I generally tend to move things around quite a lot until I'm really happy with it. I generally put a little tiny bit of adhesion on the back and then move things around. But with this, I'm committing quite often to one spot, sticking things down, and then just going with it. You'll see a couple of times in this this process video that I do lift things up a little bit. I've still got a bit of give and take with the adhesive that I use before it really sets firmly. But I'm happy with this design where I have space for my journaling. I'm bringing in some stickers from that sticker sheet just to do some really light embellishment. There's quite a lot on the page because of that awkward foundation that I created for myself. So I set myself up with a bit of something awkward really with that foundation page with the strip across the centre. But I think it's working really well. It's working nicely as a place to ground everything and to kind of radiate out from that grounding strip just in the centre there. And that's this one quite simply done. Now I am moving on to that awkward tag. I've decided that although the grey the grey tones are quite a lot here, I have some really fun stickers on that sticker sheet that is there's this dark charcoal. It looks black on the screen, but it's actually more of a charcoal grey cat monster, and there's also a green monster as well. And the story here for number 16 is really about the little cat in my husband's arms there, our old lady cat, who often loved to be cuddled and kissed and then could just turn into a little monster, which is what she'd done here, and given her dad a little love pat on the face. And so that's why I actually chose the pattern paper, because the googly eyes match his facial expression. And so I brought in a green label die cut that was the same shade of green as the little green monster that I'm going to bring in a minute. Cut it into two pieces so I could spread that green around. So I will have that green in 3 different areas on this little tag page. And then all I really need to do is add on my journaling. I'll talk a bit later about small things like enamel dots, which I will be adding to most of my pages. I might add it to this one, I might not, I'm not sure. And things like fibres, which I'll also add on to this one at a later date. But that's this one quite simply done as well. Okay, so now we have the third page for this process video, number 18. I'm using a printable collection called Jack and Skelly from Tracy Reed Designs. I've only recently printed and cut this collection, so you'll see I have all of the die cuts to play around with. I have that one photo which I've decided to mat on that orange polka dot paper from the collection, and I'm just going to stack things up in a central design, but with that star at the top. I had a little chuckle to myself as I laid it down, because this reminds me of the kind of format that I would use for December daily, because with the star it gives the indication, or gives the illusion, if you like, of a bit of a Christmas tree, because I'm using a triangular design with elements that get thinner the taller up the tree they get, if you like, but I don't mind that. It's definitely a Halloweeny October page, the colours and the motifs on the die cuts, so I'm just enjoying going through all of the die cuts, checking out which ones work nicely in this stack together. And then what I will be doing is adding my journaling above and below the photo on the label die cuts that I'm adding there. I may well go through and add some puffy stars to this page when I do that later on, so I'll be going through the whole book when it's created to add in some dimensional stickers, but I'm not sure. I think this one, because the background paper is quite busy with all of those stars, it doesn't look to my eye that it needs a lot. It's even though it's a really, really simple design, the page itself, when you'll see yourself, when everything's stuck down and when the little bit of journaling's on there, it doesn't need too much more, I don't think. So I will certainly bear in mind that I have this in my book and that it might benefit from, say, a black star layered up on top of the orange die cut there for a little bit of dimension. But depending on how chunky the book is getting at this point, so this is day 18, so more than part way through, I'll be able to really judge how the book's going. It might not need it. So that's a really good thing about putting everything together in one go, if you like. It's not getting chunkier and chunkier as each day passes. I'm creating this book holistically, so all together, so I'm able to make some really good judgment calls to make sure that this book works really nicely for me. Okay, so that is these 3 inserts for my Traveller's Notebook put together. The only thing that I have to do, which I have to do to all of the pages, is to go through with my stash of puffy stickers and enamel dots and my Nuvo drops that I have, and embellish each one with those tiny, tiny touches. So I've decided I'm going to do that right at the very end when I've got the whole book together, so I can see just how chunky it's starting to look. And I also have a few different inserts and tags that need some ribbons, so I will also do that at the same time. I'll get all my ribbons out on the desk and those stickers, and then just flip through the book and have a bit of fun putting in those final touches. Yeah, but I've enjoyed putting these together. I love this one in the end. That was the one that I wasn't sure whether I was going to enjoy it, but I really I love that I found those monster icons to add onto this page of our little monster cat. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed seeing these 3 come together really, really simply, really quickly, but some different looks for each of the pages. So hopefully you'll get a little bit of inspiration and you can see how something can come together really, really quickly and look really fun. So I'm going to get these adhered back to back onto the pages that are already there in my book and move on to the next process video. So I'll see you there. Bye for now.